a very good evening and welcome to our special program as we're going to give you the latest updates in Thai politics. I'm Nat Bunak.
I'm Frank Kanchi.
And we'll begin tonight with the hottest story of the day because there are two prominent figures who have resigned today. One of them is Cholnan, who's the Pheu Thai party leader and the party leader of Thai Liberal Party, Seri Pisutthemiyavet. So we'll begin with Cholnan first because Pheu Thai party leader announced today that he will quit as the party leader because he wants to keep to his promises made during the pre-election campaign that if Pheu Thai party joins hands with the Palang Pracharat and the United Thai Nation parties, which are both linked to the junta, he will resign. Now that Pheu Thai has successfully formed a government and managed to push Sethar Thavisin as Thailand's new prime minister, he said that it is time for him to announce his resignation as a party leader. Subsequently, Deputy Party Leader Chusak Sirinin was chosen as the acting party leader. And that was the latest update from the Pheu Thai party. Now let's look at the other party, which is the Thai Liberal. Meanwhile, the party leader Seri Pisutthemiyavet has submitted his resignation as an MP. Although no reason was given for the resignation, the Thai Liberal Party confirms that Seri Pisut was not upset that he wasn't nominated for any ministerial post in the Sethar cabinet. Now that Seri Pisut has resigned from the MP, party list MP candidate Mangkon Yongtrakoon will be taking his place. But with Seri Pisut, there have been rumors that he might be upset that he wasn't chosen to be any of the ministers in the Sethar cabinet, but the party has said that that wasn't the reason why he decided to leave as the party list MP.
Yes, but for Cholnan, because he kept his promise that he wouldn't link to the junta party, the pro-junta party. But actually for Move Forward party supporters, they might be really agitated, of course, because they think Cholnan will really hold hands with Move Forward to keep the promise at the first MOU meeting in May, but now, of course, Pheu Thai cooperated with pro-conservative parties.
Right, and as we're all aware, the backlash over Pheu Thai joining hands with Palang Pracharat, United Thai Nation parties, and all the parties that were linked to the junta, many of them have expressed much disappointment. And there was a hashtag, Cholnan la auk ki mong, which means when Cholnan will leave from Pheu Thai party, well, actually what time he will resign from Pheu Thai party. That hashtag has been trending for a couple of days since Pheu Thai decided to join hands with these parties, and that you can see that the sentiment there, people are not happy at all with Pheu Thai party's move just to become the main government and to nominate Sethar Thavisin. They had to do everything they can, even if they have to join hands with Palang Pracharat or the United Thai Nation parties, which are widely deemed to be linked to the junta and staged the coup in 2014.
It's just the backfire, is what you said, backlash.
Yes.
From a Move Forward party's supporters, because of course they want to see Pita to become the prime minister, but right now, of course, there's no chance for him to become the prime minister.
Of course, and what is really interesting is that Move Forward party MP Wiro Lakhanadison actually commented on this issue that Cholnan did not leave only to show their responsibility with what they said during the pre-election campaign, but rather that he's leaving as the party leader so that he could take up a bigger position. Because if we look at the cabinet lineup at the moment, Cholnan is actually designated to be the Minister of Public Health. So that is quite interesting as well. So now let's move on to the latest about the cabinet lineup. And right now, most of the ministerial posts have been confirmed, about 95% already. And here is what the cabinet lineup looks like at the moment. As we can see, most of the ministerial posts are confirmed with a lot of familiar faces from the Prayut administration and also familiar faces from the Pheu Thai party camp as well. And we can pick some of the ministerial posts that we find most interesting. So we'll begin with Sutin Klangsan, who's tipped to be the defense minister. Sutin, who's a veteran politician, graduated from Chulalongkorn University with a Bachelor of Education. Later on, he gained a master's degree from Mahasarakham University and a Doctor of Philosophy at Magadh University in India. And what is interesting about Sutin, though, is that he was a teacher before he entered politics. Sutin entered politics as a Thai Rak Thai party list MP in 2001. Later on, he became a constituency MP of Palang Prachachon Party for Mahasarakham province. In 2019, Sutin was chosen as a constituency MP of Pheu Thai party and was also a chief opposition whip scrutinizing the Prayut administration. Analysts told Thai PBS that Sutin, who's an eloquent speaker in House debates, is seen as being politically moderate and should be acceptable to the military. Sutin is not the first civilian to assume the defense portfolio. Most recently, former prime ministers such as Yingluck Shinawatra, Samak Suntharawet, and Chon Leek Pai also doubled as the defense minister. Now let's move on to another person who is also interesting, which is Paetongtarn Pahithanukorn, who's tipped to be the new foreign minister. He is a former deputy leader of Pheu Thai party who served as Thailand's trade representative under the Thaksin government. Back when he was an assistant to the commerce minister, he was put in charge of free trade negotiations with 7 countries in BIMSTEC. Paetongtarn also served as an advisor on economic and foreign affairs for the Chawalit Yongjaiyut administration and chairman of the board of directors of the Petroleum Authority of Thailand. A law graduate from Chulalongkorn University, Paetongtarn studied public administration at the University of Southern California and earned his PhD in government and public administration at Claremont Graduate University.
Pichit Chungpan, who is tipped to be the minister of the Prime Minister's office. He was added to the lineup just a few hours after Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin had confirmed that his cabinet list was complete. Many believe that Pichit was given the post as part of the Shinawatra quota because he's a lawyer who worked closely with Thaksin Shinawatra and later Yingluck Shinawatra. He was jailed for 6 months in 2008 for bribery when he worked as a chief counsel for Thaksin, who was charged with abusing his authority to buy a Ratchathapise land plot. The case promoted the Law Society of Thailand to disqualify Pichit as licensed lawyer, suspending him for 5 years. After completing his jail term, Pichit became a party list MP for Pheu Thai party and was behind the party's attempt to enact a blanket amnesty bill. The bill triggered massive protests, which were followed by a coup in 2014 that ousted then PM Yingluck Shinawatra. In 2019, Pichit chaired the legal advisory panel of the Thai Raksa Thai Cha party before the party was dissolved by the Constitutional Court. Pichit's imprisonment does not bar him from taking a ministerial seat in the Srettha government, as he was jailed by court order, not by conviction. Police General Paetongtarn Wongsuwan, tipped to be Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Natural Resources and Environment. Police General Paetongtarn is not only the younger brother of Prayut Wongsuwan, but he also has close ties with former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, who is regarded as the patriarch of the Pheu Thai party. They were schoolmates at the Royal Police Cadet Academy. Paetongtarn was in class 25 and Thaksin is in class 26. Political observers are convicted that Paetongtarn has acted as a secret back channel for communication between Thaksin and Prayut for many years. Prayut has denied having any direct contact with the former premier.
Pacharawat served as the Royal Thai Police Commissioner General under 3 prime ministers, namely Samak Suntharawet, Somchai Wongsawat, and Abhisit Wechashiwa between February 2008 and September 2009 during one of the most intense periods in Thai politics. As the police chief, Pacharawat was appointed to teams responsible for dealing with the anti-government protesters. So, many interesting people with interesting backstories for many of the ministers elect. So we'll have to wait and see when we will get to see the official cabinet.
The official list. But remember last week, actually, we talked about which party will get which defense minister, because that's really important, because some analysts actually, they say that maybe a United Thai Nation Party, Pacharat, they will get the defense minister. But right now, it's Pheu Thai fall into Pheu Thai's pocket. It's really interesting as a civilian without military background and becoming the ministry, the Minister of Defense Ministry.
Right,
really
and these names and the ministerial portfolios, that was something that people were keen to find out who will take on these seats, because that will play a huge role in terms of national security and so on.
And the ability to deal with all those issues ahead. That's
exactly.
Important. Yeah. And next one, I think, is a very important figure, of course, in Thailand too, is Thaksin. You know, what we talk about many times in our program in these few weeks stories. Let's have an update about it. Paetongtarn Chinawat said on Tuesday that her father, Thaksin, who is receiving medical treatment at the Police General Hospital, is still under stress and suffering the after effect of COVID-19. Paetongtarn was speaking at a press conference at Pheu Thai headquarters after visiting her father on Monday, where she said that Thaksin is suffering from fatigue and is under a lot of stress. She claimed she had learned at the same time as the media that Thaksin had been transferred from the Corrections Department to the Police General Hospital. She also added that Thaksin was infected with COVID-19 in 2020, and at the same time, he was in the ICU for 9 days and lost about 10 kilograms. She said that her father tried to exercise when he was free of the virus, but this was a challenge at 74 years old, plus he was stressed. She says she has concerns over Thaksin's heart condition, which could turn critical very fast. When asked about a report that Thaksin may seek a royal pardon, Paetongtarn said this matter is under consideration, and she said she did not get involved in the drafting of any royal pardon document. She expressed confidence in the doctors at the Police General Hospital and has not requested that Thaksin be transferred to a private hospital. So I think, of course, it's since Thaksin came back to Thailand, it's already like 2 weeks for him, 2 to 3 weeks for him to stay in Thailand, right? I think that's the right
I think
time.
it was just last week that he just came back. He came with a smile. He was greeting his family, his supporters, and many other politicians from Pheu Thai Party and other parties as well. He seemed to be very happy and smiling, and he did look healthy on the surface. But then all of a sudden he was transferred to the prison and then to the hospital. Many people have speculated whether Thaksin has been receiving any special treatment, but this hospital has denied that he wasn't getting any special treatment because they have sent sick patients, especially the elderly patients, to the hospital before. So that is what they have said.
I understand it's like level 14.
Like the 14th floor of the hospital. But then even though the hospital said that, they weren't getting any preferential treatment, but the speculation is still there. And it seems that like many of the experts have felt that Thaksin coming back and then hearing the sentences and then all of a sudden in prison and then suddenly in the hospital. Everything is kind of planned ahead. And
in the sequence, actually. And that's what you said in the netizen world. That's the question mark. People are asking about, why, as what you said, just 1 week since he came back to Thailand. So it's in a sequence, right? It's already in plan. But of course, as what you said, the hospital officials say that no, it's not planned. It's this is just for the humanitarian assistance from the prison, from the correction department to the hospital, and just take care of him at this moment. But we still have no exact timing when he will leave the hospital and go back to the correction department. There's no timing yet.
There's one interesting comment from an expert who interviewed Thai PBS like yesterday. He felt that everything is too planned. Everything is pre-planned and it doesn't look like a coincidence at all. So if he is really in hospital or he has been in prison, there should be at least some CCTV footage proving that Thaksin has already entered prison before he actually was admitted to hospital. But there was nothing. So a lot of it is kind of skeptic to begin with from the expert's perspective.
Many skeptical comments and suspicions from
of course
analysts. It's not just for the academics, of course, on the internet world too.
Social media. Like everyone has been speculating, and all of them said that everything looks suspicious from the beginning anyway. But then we will have to wait and see how it will end up when Thaksin is fully recovered, whether he will get back to prison or not. So we'll have to wait and see. And now that Sethar Thavisin is finally the new Prime Minister of Thailand, and we have seen the cabinet lineup, that also means that it's also the end of the Prayut Chan-o-cha administration. So yesterday was the last cabinet meeting of the Prayut government, where the outgoing leader took this opportunity to bid farewell as the Prime Minister for 9 years. After chairing the last cabinet meeting on Tuesday, outgoing Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha told the media that he will spend the rest of his life in retirement with his family and taking rest as an ordinary citizen who has no privileges. In his brief farewell speech, he thanked all the ministers, his staff, officials, and maids working at the government house, expressing hope that they will continue to do so. And among the highlights of the day was that Prayut took this opportunity to take a group photo with reporters working at the government house. And during the lunch break after the cabinet meeting, the Prime Minister, his ministers, and the staff took a group photo and were seen engaged in a joyful chit-chat. And this is not an atmosphere that we would get to see very often during the past 9 years, because when we think of Prayut Chan-o-cha, he seems to be very serious, very everything by the book all the time. He looks serious as a military officer before. So we don't really get to see him smile so often until this year, since he has been campaigning for United Thai Nation Party as a prime ministerial candidate. He's being more lively, more engaging with the people, because this is actually completely different from in the past.
Yeah, the serious look is people, miss or in their head that they never see. I think they seldom see Prayut really smile all the time, or comparing to Peter Limjaroenrat, of course, comparing to Sethar Thavisin, of course. As what you said, his background is in military. Maybe this is how he was educated and trained in the military camp. But as what you said, actually, we see the group photo yesterday, and he smiled a lot.
He looked really happy, lively, smiling, and very friendly with all the reporters who were there to cover the story, especially on the last meeting of the Prayut administration. And that moment is something that people will sort of remember for a very long time, because we both agree that we don't really get to see Prayut smile so often, and being friendly as well, because it's not until this year that he becomes really friendly with the reporters, getting engaged with exclusive interviews as well. This is not something we've ever expected.
With Thai PBS as well.
Yes,
too.
exactly. Thai PBS actually did exclusive interviews with Prayut Chan-o-cha before, twice as well. Like the first time was during the registrations of the MPs, and the second time was an exclusive one-on-one interview with Suthishai as well. And this is something that is completely unexpected for someone who has been watching the news as well, because normally Prayut would never give one-on-one interviews with anyone. Seriously.
Firstly, I think it's quite risky, of course. And this time, a farewell goodbye for him. Of course, his supporters, Longhai Samcha supporters, and some, of course, Palang Pracharath supporters, because he was in Palang Pracharath before, so Palang Pracharath supporters will miss him. But I'm not sure the media reporter, the Thai media, local media reporter will really miss him, because as what we talked about before we on air. I'm not sure if you see the video before. He threw kind of the banana peel to the media reporter after he ate the banana. So it's kind of like this stern, serious look, serious performance, and kind of up-down performance, up-down.
He seems to be very serious, very, very fierce, and sometimes really angry as well when he responds to the reporters interrogating him about issues, whether it's the cabinet reshuffles or anything else. We always remember him as this angry person, a serious person all the time. But then all of a sudden, the scene that we've seen yesterday is completely different. But there's one thing really interesting, though. We do have footage that Prayut as the Prime Minister for the very first day and PM Prayut on the very last day. The way he smiles is kind of different as well. If we notice carefully, on the first day as the Prime Minister, he was seen smiling a little bit, but not too much. But on the very last day, he was like all out. So he's becoming more friendly to the people, especially when he knows that he will no longer become the Prime Minister. We will no longer be the Prime Minister of Thailand.
Yeah, because the last day have to be a good welcome for media and for the public too.
Of course.
Yes. Right. Say goodbye to Prayut, but right now we have to welcome Pheu Thai. So the economic policy of Pheu Thai government is really important, because it's gonna help Thailand come back to the gaining version, right? To get enough income and revenue from, of course, tourism. But right now we can see actually there's a digital wallet scheme. From Pheu Thai. This could incentivize the economic growth of Thailand, but would it really work? An informed source in the party said that it's now obvious that utility tokens, which are used to access a particular product or service within a blockchain-based ecosystem, are likely to be used as a means of payment for the digital wallet scheme. Since such tokens are not accepted by the central bank as a legal means of payment for goods or services, certain restrictions stipulated in the Digital Asset Executive Decree will have to be amended. The source pointed out that there is no need to enact a new law, just an announcement from the Securities and Exchange Commission will suffice. The source also noted that to work out a blockchain ecosystem to support the digital wallet scheme is a time-consuming process and it requires a lot of number of personnel. As such, it may not be possible for the scheme to be launched within 6 months, because the system will require the KYC mandatory process of identifying and verifying the client's identity when opening an account, and periodically over time. In other words, banks must ensure that their clients are who they claim to be. Each individual will be charged a 100 baht fee for the KYC process arrangement, said the source, adding, however, that the KYC information will be beneficial for other applications in the future. Spending from the digital wallet, which is estimated to cost the taxpayer about 560 billion baht, will help stimulate the national economy, with the expectation that it will push as much as 1.68 trillion baht back into circulation. Assistant President of the Research Institute at CIMB Thai Bank said he doubts the source or sources of the funds for the scheme and the efficiency of the management of the fund, even though the use of utility tokens is transparent and accountable. Under the digital wallet scheme, every Thai national who is 16 and older will be eligible to receive 10,000 baht in digital money, expected to be in the form of utility tokens to be transferred to their account to be spent within 6 months in stores for goods or services within a 4-kilometer radius of their residence. The sum cannot be converted into cash or used to settle debts. According to Thailand Development and Research Institute, the funding for the scheme is likely to come from tax collection in the 2024 fiscal year, which is expected to increase by 260 billion baht. Increases in tax generation from economic expansion estimated about 100 billion baht, 110 billion baht from the state budget, and about 90 billion baht from welfare budget. Another option is for the government to borrow, as Thailand's public debt ceiling is now estimated 61.15% of GDP according to the information for June, and the government can still borrow another 1.58 trillion baht, or up to 70% of GDP.
It looks like they're going to use a lot of budget for the digital wallet scheme, because 10,000 baht of digital money into their pockets of the Thai people, that is a lot of people to begin with, and that might require a lot of borrowing as well. So people might be speculating whether it might put the economy at risk as well.
All in all, it's 560 billion baht. This is a very, very big budget. As what we said in the news, tax collection, tax generation, state budget or welfare budget. This is all those budgets actually aiming at helping people in welfare, in state budgets. But another way is to borrow those money, those budget from other countries. But according to the latest data, Japan, at their GDP, they have government debt at 223%, US 112%. It seems like, okay, Thailand still can get more debt from other countries, but is it a good way to do it? Because of course, Japan and US, they can pay back. They have high-tech industry, they have high-value industry to back up them to pay all those debts. How about Thailand? So it's really important.
Because the truth is, like United States and Japan, they're already developed countries, but Thailand is not at that level. So if they're going to borrow that much money, it can put the country at risk. So whatever they do with the policies, they really have to think back and forth, not just only the fact that they want to help the people and to stimulate the economy, because if we think thoroughly, it can put side effects as well.
It might be a positive kicker at this point, because of course you give everyone 10K and people wouldn't just use 10K because they're gonna buy more and they're gonna spend their own expenses too. That's a good way for economy. And as what I said about the debt, national debt there, it's for the global stage. How about the domestic one? It's what we talk about from the Bank of Thailand, because of course the law, the regulation doesn't allow the central government to give this kind of money via digital wallets. So there's a lot of, I think still a lot of problems that have to take away first before they really send this money to our digital wallet.
Exactly. So we will have to find out whether the scheme will be successful, because the digital wallet scheme is expected to launch by next year. So we'll have to wait and see. And Thailand has already found a new prime minister. There's a new government coming up. But unfortunately, this also means that this will be our last episode of our special program. Could you believe this? It has been 4 months since we've been reporting about Thai politics and the elections.
Since the mid-May, actually, the election finished, we have this program, we talk about the ups and downs and those power struggle in political landscape too.
Exactly.
From the MOU, from the coalition from Move Forward, and right now another coalition from Pheu Thai, and we see Seta becoming the prime minister.
Exactly. We've been reporting on the elections since April, and then May, and now we have a new government already. So we would like to thank you, all of you, for staying with us since our first episode back in April throughout the general elections, and now that we have a new Pheu Thai government as well. So even though this program is over, we will be back really soon with a brand new show sometime in September. So we will still be discussing the latest stories in Thailand, some about politics, but more on human interest stories, as well as more cheeky commentaries for us as well. So by the meantime, follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates about Thailand as well as analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon with our brand new program. สวัสดีค่ะ